Hi, boys and girls. I just sat down to pick out some good stories to enjoy for a little bit of Christmas reading. I've got my cozy blankets here. I'm feeling nice and warm and ready to go. And, I was thinking I was having a very hard time picking out a story because I noticed there are so many different kinds of Christmas stories. There are Christmas stories that are made up of songs. Look at this one, even comes with a CD with it that will sing the song. This is Jolly Old St. Nicholas. Do you know this one? I like that one a lot. You know the one that goes, Jolly old St. Nicholas, lean your ear this way. Oh, yeah, maybe you know that one, huh? Look, I like this part of it when old St. Nicholas is got his sack on his back and he's going to go down the chimney. That brings back memories. Oh, and this one's fun about down through the chimney. You know that one? And and up on the housetop. And the 12 days of Christmas. We saw that a little bit earlier last week, right? We were talking about 12 days of Christmas and all the different numbers. Oh, look at all those number words you could practice in there. Oh, and here's an oldie but a goodie. It's a Christmas book with the words of the song Silent Night. Oh, that's bound to be a beautiful story. Yep, and then fun ones like Santa Claus is coming to town. Speaking of fun ones, how many of you know this one? Frosty the Snowman. You know the song and the story. It's a good one. And then you have some that just tell stories that we enjoy. Remember that make-believe one about a mouse in the movie? We even have Christmas songs. Yep. Or Christmas books about, look at Kitty Cat. Oh, and collection books. Look at this one. Is filled with stories about Biscuit's Christmas. Yep, all different ones you could read in one great big book. Yeah, books come in all different ways. And I noticed this one. This is what I hope we get time to read tomorrow. It's The Night Before Christmas. But look at, it's written by different, or it's been put into books by different people. This one's a very old one. Yeah, I've read this one to my kids for quite a few years, and this one actually, this used to be at Mrs. Finkel's house when she was little. You can see the pages are kind of taped back in there because it's been loved for a long time. Look at this whole book when it was new only cost 29 cents. That's how you know it's old, right? Yeah, this book is a newer one. Yeah, it was $8.48. Yeah, you can tell they were bought at different times. But it's the same story, but it's been retold. Both of the original stories, same story by Clement C. Moore, but then they rewrote it and they put it in a different kind of storybook. I even have more of these at school about the night before Christmas. Well, and then I noticed something else. Sometimes there's authors who really like a topic. Can you see all these books back here? These were all written by the same author. Here's Who's That Knocking on Christmas Eve, and it's by Jan Brett. She makes very detailed illustrations. Can you see how much there is going on in her pictures? Yeah, there's all kinds of things to look at when you check out her illustrations. Like each one could tell a whole story. But she must really like the topic of Christmas because she wrote that one. She wrote one called Christmas Trolls. That's a little bit different. And then I have another one by her called Gingerbread Friends. Oh, that reminds you of the story of the little gingerbread man, right? So someone's taken that topic and written different stories on it. And you know what? Jan Brett liked that topic so much, she also wrote one called Gingerbread Baby. And that's the one I'm going to read to you today. Now, you might want to be working on your gingerbread house. Did you remember there's that little brown, it's almost like a piece of cardboard. It's flat, and you can open it up, close it. It'll look like a house, and then you can add the stickers to decorate the gingerbread house. Or you might want to go in this packet right here the one that says added later. And inside of here, there is a gingerbread man you can color. Read the little poem, color. You can roll your dice that's in your packet to see what different items to add to your gingerbread person. And look at, there are the different characters from the story of the little gingerbread man. And there's even parts of the setting. Let's see. Yep, look at, there's the house, the gingerbread house, and the oven that they used to cook it. Yeah. Oh, and you could also describe what your gingerbread man would look like. So this is the big idea in the center, and you could put that, it has maybe like pastel colors, like light colors. Maybe it has like shiny sugar on it. Maybe round candies. Maybe you have button eyes. Yeah, however you want to describe it. So those are some things you can be working on while I read the story to you. Now, if you're going to retell the story of the little gingerbread man, those characters are a little bit different than in the gingerbread baby. You might want to find your own edition of the gingerbread man. Yep, there's lots of those. Some of them I really like because the little gingerbread man gets away at the end, but others, he gets eaten up, doesn't he? So yeah, you'll have to find the version that you like to read about that. There's lots of them on YouTube that you can have read to you. Okay, The Gingerbread Baby by Jan Brett. What was that? No, you don't have to work on a gingerbread project. If you have one of your other Christmas projects you want to work on while I'm reading this story to you, you can do that too. Of course, that would be great. All right, here we go. It was cold outside. It was warm inside. A fine day for gingerbread, Maddie thought. Maddie's mother put the big blue bowl on the table and lit the stove. Oh, there's a stove in this story, just like in the other gingerbread story. Maddie looked down, a worn-looking cookbook with old-fashioned writing on the cover. He opened it up to the page that said Gingerbread Boy. Talk about old-fashioned writing. Remember when we did our letter ID test and we had that, the typewriter G in there? Look at, she used that old-fashioned G when they made the type for this book. They measured and mixed. Maddie rolled the dough into the oven and shaped a little gingerbread boy, and they popped him into the oven. Bake a full 8 minutes, no more, no less. Do not peek, the recipe read. Maddie listened to the clock. Tick, tock, tick. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3, 4, 5. Maddie couldn't wait any longer. He opened the oven door to take a peek. Uh-oh, didn't the recipe say no peeking? Instead of a gingerbread boy, out jumped a gingerbread baby. He pranced around the big blue bowl. I am the gingerbread baby, fresh from the pan. If you want me, catch me if you can. Uh-oh, he sounds like the gingerbread boy. Maddie's mother reached for the gingerbread baby to put him back into the oven, but he ran all around the kitchen. The door opened and in came Maddie's father. What's that delicious smell? He asked as the gingerbread baby tumbled through his legs and outside into the yard. Oh, there's Dad, and out goes the gingerbread baby, right out into the cold. He ran by the tabby cat. She twitched her tail and sprang at him. They rumbled and tumbled, but the gingerbread baby came out on top. He ran towards the garden wall. The dog caught a whiff of tasty ginger and sniffed along behind him. But the gingerbread baby was halfway up when the dog caught up. He barked and barked as the gingerbread baby climbed over the wall. Well, I noticed, just like in the story of the gingerbread man, he's running past different animals, isn't that baby? Maddie was still inside. He heard his mother and father yelling. He heard a cat meowing and a dog barking. And he heard the gingerbread baby shouting, catch me if you can. Maddie opened up the worn-looking cookbook for the second time. Meanwhile, the gingerbread baby wheeled on down the path and into the barn. The goats looked up as he somersaulted across their backs. The last one tried to catch him, but the gingerbread baby was too fast. Yeah, that's the T-O-O fast. Martha and Madeline were standing by the well when the gingerbread baby stopped to take a drink. They looked at each other and winked. Martha started to talk to him, while Madeline tiptoed up behind him with the bucket. But they couldn't fool the gingerbread baby. Yep, look at that. No fooling him. Are you noticing how detailed her drawings are? I know, very intricate. He took a braid from Martha and a braid from Madeline and tied them in a knot and ran down the road. Back in the house, Mandy stirred, mixed, and rolled the dough. He shaped it, put it in the pan, and into the oven. Tick, tack, tick. 8 long minutes. This time he didn't. That's right. 8 would be greater than 5, so it would have baked for longer. I will catch him if I can, Maddie said to himself. As he was bouncing along, the gingerbread baby saw a farm wagon just ahead. He jumped in and settled down for the ride next to the mama pig. The smell of the gingerbread was too much for her. She tossed him high in the air, closed her eyes, and opened her mouth. But the gingerbread baby twisted in the air and came down hard on her porky snout. I am the gingerbread baby, too quick for the mother and the father, too fast for the cat, the dog, the goats, too clever for Martha and Madeline, too smart for the mama pig. Who is left? Catch me if you can. Do you think you could catch him? You already have a plan, I see. Feeling smug, the gingerbread baby strode along by himself until he came to a bridge that crossed over to the village. Just as he got to the middle, he heard running feet behind him and saw a crowd of villagers ahead of him. The gingerbread baby was trapped. He jumped up onto the railing, backflipped through the air, and landed on a chunk of ice floating down the river. Boy, that's a gymnast one, huh, Jessie Mae? Do you know some of those tricks? I bet you would like to do some of those. The ice bobbed along with the gingerbread baby, dancing on top and singing in a loud voice. Look at me, what do you see? The best gingerbread baby ever. Until his feet got cold and he jumped ashore. Who was that watching from the trees? It was the fox. He crept up behind the gingerbread baby, ready to eat him up. But the fox couldn't help himself. He licked his chops. Smack, smack. The gingerbread baby heard him and ran as fast as he could. If I saw that fox by me, I would be running very, very quickly. Just when the fox was catching up, the gingerbread baby saw the milk and the cheese man with his can of milk. The perfect hiding place, he thought. He lifted the lid and lowered himself inside. He was so pleased that he sang at the top of his gingerbread voice, ha ha, hee hee, you'll never find me. I'm the gingerbread baby. Catch me if you can. The milk and the cheese man heard the gingerbread baby's voice. Who is meddling with my milk? He shouted and lifted the lid. But the gingerbread baby was ready. He jumped up and tweaked his nose. Now the milk and the cheese man, the fox, the villagers, the mama pig, Martha and Madeline, the bleating goats, the barking dog, the meowing cat, the father and the mother were all after the gingerbread baby and getting closer, and he knew it. The brash baby was not as peppy and proud as he had been. He sniffed a familiar smell and followed his nose into the woods. See, look at that line of people all going after him, people and animals. He couldn't believe what he saw. There in the middle of the clearing was a gingerbread house, covered with candy, frosted with sugar, and the doors with peppermint handles wide open. The gingerbread baby clapped his hands with glee and ran inside. Does that look like the gingerbread house that you're building? In a tick, tack, tick, everyone arrived at the clearing. But all they found was a few bits of frosting, a peppermint candy, and some crumbs. The father exclaimed, "The gingerbread baby has finally met his match. I wonder who it was." The mother said, "Let's go home and tell Maddie." Do you see who's sneaking off back there? There's Maddie. Maddie knew all along, huh? "Hello, Maddie," his father said when they got home. "We never did catch the gingerbread baby. All we found were some crumbs in the snow." "I see you have been very busy," his mother said, looking at the gingerbread house Maddie was holding. "Too bad we never caught the gingerbread baby." "Too bad," said Maddie. Look at the smile on Maddie. Do you think he thinks it's really too bad? Only Maddie could hear the tiny voice from inside the gingerbread house. Do you see who's in there? See the shadow inside? Yeah, looks like you found the gingerbread baby. There it is. "I'm the little gingerbread baby, lucky as can be to be living in the house that Maddie made for me." Look at the details that author even puts them on the page that's inside the book to hold it in. Yeah. Did you like that one, boys and girls? It was based on the story, The Little Gingerbread Man, but the gingerbread baby was a little bit different, wasn't it? Yeah, so they took that story and put a little spin on it. Well, boys and girls, I would like you to go ahead and color and cut these out. I would be very curious to hear the story that you would make up about the gingerbread man or baby or gingerbread teenager. Yeah. All right. Well, boys and girls, you get some of those good things done, and hopefully tomorrow when Mrs. Finkel's back at school and we have our pajama party, I can see some of the things that you've created. All right, so tomorrow, don't forget, you can wear your jammies, you could wear your Christmas socks, and we'll be ready to enjoy some stories together and all those great crafts you've been working on, and we can finish up a few more. All right, boys and girls, see you tomorrow.